All right, we're live. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley. Today we are joined by founder Greg Kilwine. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
And we also have the incredible Julie and Colin from our team. Hey, guys. We're so excited to have you here today. We are going to be opening up our call with a very special live announcement. So I want to make sure everybody is here and settled in. We've got a really exciting set of slides to share with you today, some fun information to share. I want to talk about how we serve our members and how we can create a resource hub to save you time and streamline your business. We're going to be talking a little bit about member areas and vaults today inside of the GetOiling platform, what those mean, what they can do for you. But at the start of our call here, we have a really exciting announcement to make about the giveaway that we just did over the new year. So twice a year, we do a promo where we run a bunch of bonuses and specials and giveaways for folks who get started or who move up to annual or who upgrade their plans. And this time we offered coaching as a giveaway. And that coaching is with me, and it is one-on-one sessions going through the personal branding intensive. Now, just a quick show of hands for those of you who are here. How many of you entered that drawing by getting started, by moving up to annual, or by renewing your plan? Curious how many of us here are aware that they are entered into the drawing. And of course, there we go. We see a few here. Perfect. So we are really excited to announce our winner. I'm going to give that honor to Greg, though, because he's over there with the drawing machine doing all of the tech. And just to reiterate, you guys, this Icon coaching is working one-on-one with me over the course of a 4-week series where we can get together and really dig in deep on your work, especially if you're working in the personal branding intensive that's running live right now. It's going to give you that opportunity to really take these things to the next level, have my eyes on what you're doing, and have us working together. So Greg, who is the winner?
Yeah, so we took everybody's name and threw it into a randomizer and used the lovely random.org. And it turns out that Joy Doss is the winner, our lucky winner of this. I don't know if she's here today, but if not, we'll certainly be reaching out. Congratulations, Joy. That was fun. Happy that you would get
congratulations. That. Yeah. And excited to work with you. Welcome to our community and welcome to everyone who's here. I hope that, you are a winner in the next drawing that we have. And I hope that you are a winner here every week because we're always giving away great information and insights and sometimes puppies and babies on video. There's lots of good things to see here. So, all right. So today, you guys, we're talking about creating an education hub for your Young Living business. Let me know where you're coming in from if you haven't already, and then let me know, do you have an educational hub or resource, a single place where you like to bring your people when you get them started as Young Living customers? Is this something that your upline has that you take advantage of, or is it something that you've created or you're in the process of creating? What does that look like for you? Is it a Facebook group? Do you have something on GetOiling? Is there an email that you send? What is the sort of central resource that you depend on to grow your business? Puppies for the win. That's right. San Antonio, Minnesota, Michigan, Kansas, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Julie, you've been using Facebook, but you've started using the vaults and GetOiling. Excellent, excellent. All right, so we are going to talk about these things today. All right, perfect. Good timing. A lot of people working on setting theirs up. All right, perfect, perfect. All right, and we do have, by the way, a website review. I think one person had to reschedule. So Lori, yes. Lori, you appear to be here and we will be chatting today on this live call. Okay, so team, let's go ahead and turn our videos off so that we can have a great recording for YouTube. And then I'm going to share and we're going to get started. Okay, let's try this out. All right, perfect. So today we are talking about creating an education hub for your Young Living customers. What we have done here is first, of course, congratulations, Joy. We have a winner for our giveaway. We're going to get into a training on how to create an education hub for your Young Living customers. And of course, we're going to get into some website reviews and Q&A and support. So if you have questions, you're here with questions right now, there's something that you'd like to get addressed here on our call, I want to invite you to go ahead and put that into the Q&A so that our team can be working with you as I'm going through the presentation here today. And if needed, we can look at things together live on screen after we're done with the slides. So please go ahead and put those into the Q&A, not the chat, because the chat party over here gets a little crazy and sometimes it is possible to miss what you have shared with us. All right. So if you want to get on the list, if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, go to getoiling.com/weekly work session, and that'll get you connected to this live call that we do every Thursday at noon. And if you want to work together, like I'll be doing with Lori here in just a little bit on an upcoming call, head over to getoiling.com/website review. Now, you don't have to have a website set up to have a call, but we do ask that you are a member of the GetOiling community so that we can go over your work with you. If you have any questions about how GetOiling can work for you and you want to sit down and actually have a Q&A session with someone on our team, please feel free to reach out at support@getoiling.com. All right, so let's talk about how to create an education hub for your Young Living customers. Now, let me ask you guys first. Maybe you could leave a message in the chat. You could show your hands. Are you currently a part of a customer group for Young Living on Facebook? This can be yours. It can be someone else's. Are you a part of one? And actually, let me take this a step further because I know most of you are a part of one. How many are you a part of? Yes, and how many? So do you have, wow, 10. Wow, Brandy, 5, 3, 4, 5. All right. So there's, it's common to be a part of a lot of groups for Young Living, because for good reason, right? Before there was a GetOiling where you could build a vault and have your own private member area, this is the easy, free way to do this, right? So there's lots of benefits from being able to socially connect, interact, and have social proof. But we're going to talk today about why we ought to be moving things off of there and how we can get that done. All right. So how many of you, let me know in the comments here, do you have one of your own? Do you have your own customer group on Facebook that you manage? A lot of us. Okay. Okay. So I have a question for you guys. Those comments are blowing up. All right. Here's a question for you. New question. When is the last time you posted something, a time-sensitive announcement, maybe a back in stock notification, a PV promo notification, and everyone actually got the memo on time? Not when's the last time you posted, because you can post all the time, but when's the last time you posted something and you were certain that that went out to everyone who needed to see it? Oh, Janelle says never. It's annoying and frustrating. It's like throwing flyers into the wind. A lot of nevers, a lot of nevers, a lot of nopes. Right. Okay. So let's talk about why we need a hub, right? First, having a hub means easy onboarding. It means you get them started with their Young Living customer account, and then you go, all right, now here's everything else you need to know. And it's all here and you can come back to it when you need it, right? This allows for self-reference and self-study. How many of you needed your upline to baby step walk you through every concept about essential oils, right? You probably didn't because you saw it and you wanted to go for it, right? But you needed to self-educate. You needed to see stuff. And of course, here's a real obvious answer question. If you were going to spend all of your time trying to spoon feed every person who you ever share Young Living with every single detail about oils, we're never going to grow as a business, right? So we want to empower people to educate themselves, because that's what makes a great Young Living customer, is somebody who is a self-advocate for their wellness, for their family, right? Show of hands, that makes sense. We want to provide resources so that people can become self-advocates. So how do we do that without actually, spoon feeding people, right? So when we get this done, we have more informed customers. And the time that you invest, and this is where we have just a distinct departure from Facebook, you guys, the time that you invest in your resource hub is something that increases the value of that resource over time. That does not work the same with Facebook. Facebook is a churn content model. You need to be showing up and posting 4 times a day for people to see stuff, right? Now, a resource hub, if we build it correctly, is also duplicable if you're letting your people use it. All right. So this means, you guys, fundamentally, if we're going to get those things done, it means moving groups off of Facebook, right? It's fine to have a social element, social proof, place where you hang out, little water cooler situation. But where it comes to pertinent and timely information, we got to get it off the platform. And I should add this here. I didn't put it into a slide. How many of you guys knew that the actual like policies and procedures for basically every major social network is against using those social networks for network marketing? Written into the PMPs. Did you guys know that? It's frustrating, right? Like here's the thing, right? You don't want to build your business on quicksand. Don't put the most important place for you to connect your customers with information on hostile territory, right? So let's address engagement real quick. I get this question a lot for folks who are just getting started building groups in GetOiling and moving off of Facebook. A lot of us are really worried about engagement going down or engagement being negatively impacted. Okay, so first, we need to really cover what engagement is and what engagement is that actually drives growth on your team, drives retention, drives increase in PVs. Number one at the top of this list, and it is outsized. I should have put this in like 12 times bigger font than everything else. Your care calls, your personal connections with the humans that you have shared Young Living with is the most important thing that is going to get people connected to product and to keep them engaged. You're doing this until they have the same kind of enthusiasm and autonomy that you do in their connection to this company. You're working with them to and through that point, they are so bought in, they're duplicating what you did, right? Another thing that drives growth are live calls with testimonials. Recordings work for this as well, but I would classify that as content. So if you do weekly calls where maybe you do, you're doing a weekly presentation, you're talking about an oil, maybe it's a class, people can invite their leads to it, right? This is old school network marketing. Have a call every week that people can tune into. Do this and talk about product, do it and include the talk about the opportunity if you want to, but have a place. If you don't do it, connect with an upline and show people where they can go to connect with someone else's thing that's happening, where they can dial in, learn a little bit more, see that there's a big community of us, and then connect them to the stories that really make people open their eyes and understand what this is all about, right? Another thing that drives growth is your topical Q&A that's relevant to them. So they say, I'm dealing with this. What oil do I use? They say, how do I use this product? You give them those answers, right? That kind of stuff that's specifically relevant to them at the time. Now, this doesn't mean that you go and you get a text campaign from whatever content provider you use, and just because you got that text campaign, you send it out to everybody. That's not engagement, right? That's not something that's relevant to them right now. If we can treat our people not like numbers, but like the humans that we want to talk to and help, we can get people to that point where they are as excited as we are about this stuff and will be excited enough to go out, self-educate, deepen their knowledge, and actually start sharing, right? Another thing that helps is the ability to browse educational content. This is where it gets kind of crazy, right? There's so many places you can go to find information. We don't want to overwhelm. We want to provide a clear place for people to actually find answers that they're looking for, right? And to maybe dig a little deeper and find out that there's an oil for that too, right? And then of course, we want to inform them of deals, right? So this is our gift with purchase this month. This is, some special sale that's happening. This is an important thing that drives growth, but you need to understand also that as engagement is concerned, if all we're doing is showing up to tell them what they need to buy, we aren't doing our job right? Show of hands, does that make sense? If all we're doing is showing up and saying, hey, you should buy stuff, we're not really doing the relationship right. All right. So people don't have to be paying attention to you or your resources 24/7 to be engaged customers. I think a lot of us have built this expectation because Facebook requires you to be active 24/7 to actually have people seeing what you do. If you're operating in this way that I want to share with you today, you don't have to do that. You show up when it counts and you be there for them, right? And in fact, if you are in their face all the time, sending them 50 bajillion different things, doing all the things in their face, they're more likely to tune you out and miss the important stuff, right? So we don't want to overdo it. We want to say, all right, here, I'm excited to get you started. Let's make sure that you've got the relevant information that you need. Let's be in touch on our next goals. And here, let me just go ahead and connect you. You don't have to study all the stuff that's in here right now. But if you're curious, here's a couple of things that you can go look at to get started, right? If you don't overdo it, you can give people the tools that they need to grow on their own. And isn't that what you want in your organization? People who want to grow on their own. All right, so what's the right move here? First, I want to encourage you to take a consultative approach on your connection with people, how you sign people up, and how you work with them until they're excited to start sharing. So keep a flow of care calls going. Nothing that I share with you today about creating an education or resource hub is going to boost your OGV without you going out and actually having deeper relationships that are connecting people to meaning, to each other, and to product that will actually help them with something that they're going through right now. So keep your care calls going. Then connect them with your resource hub that you create. And then reference and point back to that resource hub continually on your care calls, in your outreach, and on any of the live calls that you do, like the ones I was mentioning earlier, right? So the hub becomes a place that you are actually serving them, but you're serving them passively. You're actively serving them by being in touch, right? Being available, having that flow of care calls, that back and forth. When are we going to talk next, right? And then connecting them to, here's the information right over here. Don't give them the info, point to it. And the resource hub lets you do that. All right. So if you want to create a resource hub off of Facebook for your customers, stay tuned. All right. Who wants to do that? Who's in the process of doing this? Is this something that you've been actively trying to get done? Awesome. A lot of folks have started. Yes. All right. So let's go over what we need. So what our resource hub ultimately is a vault that lives inside of your GetOiling member area. Now, if you are a member at Basic or higher, then you have access to at least one vault that you can create. Now, if you are at Basic, which is one of our more popular plans, it's got a little bit of everything that we offer. I've seen this question come up frequently. If I only have one vault, so if I'm on Basic and I have one vault, what should I use it for? The answer is this. It's what we're talking about here today. A resource hub, an education resource hub. Now, if someone in your direct upline is also a GetOiling user and they have created a vault like this that you and your team can use as well, then cool. Like you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to have their own. But if you don't have access to something like this, then be the one to create it for your business moving forward. All right, so let's talk about what this looks like. We're going to create a resource hub first, figuring out what it is that we need from our hub. What do we need it to do for us? Remember, at the end of the day, we don't need to just be thinking about what our customers need. We need to know what we want out of our business and what our business needs from us. That needs to be a consideration moving forward. Then we talk about how to organize that resource hub. I've got some ideas for you to get started with this, where you can find content to fill out this resource hub, and then what kind of content you can use and how you can get step-by-step how to get this done so that you can have this created for you. All right, so what we need from a resource hub is first, clearly organized educational and promotional information that allows our members to self-serve, to educate themselves, to inform themselves on their own time. They're not going to necessarily be on that live in your Facebook when you show up on that live, and they probably won't see it unless they log on within the right period of time after you've done it. So like, we want to be able to have a thing that instead of having a thing that has a 4-hour shelf life on Facebook, has an infinite shelf life inside of your system, right? So we want to have something that's clearly organized so people can self-serve. We'll have the ability here to communicate time-sensitive messages to all of our members. If everybody's in your vault, you can send out emails to them and let them know that you've updated the educational resources, that there is a new thing coming up that they can take advantage of, right? So instead of, again, just posting, throwing a flyer out into the wind, like excellent comment made earlier. Instead of that, we're actually putting a literal bulletin board message up and sending it out to everyone who said, yes, I want to hear about this. And it arrives in their inbox or via text or via an app notification, right? This is something that you just cannot manage on Facebook. And then of course, a way to do both of these things without it taking up all of your time, so you can keep growing the business with those IPAs and those care calls and enjoying its rewards. And then finally, and this again is really the cherry on top when we're talking about getting our member serving groups off of Facebook, is our privacy, security, and control over how the group functions. On GetOiling, when you create your own resource hub in a vault, this is your space. Nobody is telling you what to do and not do with it. Nobody is censoring you like people often get censored on Facebook. This is a safe place. This platform, GetOiling, is built for your business, built by and for Young Living brand partners. So you are safe with us in what you share and how you show up. Of course, we're going to encourage you to abide by compliance, right, for Young Living, but you aren't going to have to worry about getting the hammer from a social network. All right, now let's talk about some ideas for organizing your hub. First, basic Young Living info. And guys, most of this stuff is just out there and it's free, and it's just a matter of you collecting this stuff. Make yourself an outline of a link that goes here, information copy pasted from there. Most of this stuff already exists and you don't have to make it. All right, so Young Living basic info. Where do they go to log into their account? Like literally, what is the address on the internet? That's a really important basic thing to include. People forget it, right? Where to find help, how to contact support, how to contact you or an upline, how to find different kinds of help. Do they need help with the website? Young Living has a link on their website where they have website training videos where you can get all of those answers yourself, right? All right, monthly gift with purchase page. This is a static link, meaning the link never changes. It's updated every month. And so on the first of the month, that one link is going to be the same in January as it is in May and September and December. But it's going to have the accurate, up-to-date gift with purchase information. Always a relevant thing to have. Have this inside of your hub. Now, what's in your kit? There are great third-party resources on this. Grow Workspace has these. There's lots of awesome stuff like this. But I mean, you could even write this stuff out or copy and paste stuff from Young Living's own website or link to their website. We could talk about how to use essential oils, inhaled, topical, internal. We could talk about essential oil safety. There's great YouTube videos that are public that you could compile for these purposes. Seed to Seal, Young Living literally has videos and written resources and links on this. Again, compile them, put them in one place. Subscribe to Save. Again, another thing, you don't have to figure out how to talk about it. They're already talking about it. Get the link to the page where they talk about it so you can point them off to it, and then maybe share a little bit of your own experience with Subscribe to Save or loyalty rewards. I do highly encourage you as well to not lean into the corporate lingo in your customer education resources. So instead of saying Seed to Seal, you could say why you don't want oils from anywhere else. Instead of Subscribe to Save, you can say how to get 24% off of every order. Instead of loyalty rewards, you can say how to get back up to 25% in your purchase volume and free product, right? Things that are attractive, that makes sense to somebody. Now, obviously you could have both and it's totally fine. I'm not saying it's wrong to use the key words. It's just most of your customers who aren't fully dialed into Young Living want to know the benefit, not the name, right? All right, sharing Young Living, which could also mean how to get free product or get paid to share the products that you love. We could have suggested order bundles. If you use MyYL, you could put links here, or you could just simply make lists, or you could find lists, or you could make images of lists, or whatever you like to do. You could organize supplements A to Z or by issue, oils A to Z, oil blends A to Z, use cases for different products like wellness, for personal care, green living, seasonal. You could include recipes like vitality recipes, diffuser recipes, Ningxia recipes, right? This is some ideas for you that you can use to organize your hub. Just covering the bases. And again, you don't have to create a thing for this. Most of this stuff lives out in the world in the form of free videos on YouTube and more importantly, on Young Living's own website, social media, and YouTube channels, right? You could also talk about your oily accessories like your rollers, sprayers, diffusers. Just keep compliant by only putting Young Living's own links with Young Living products. If you are an Amazon affiliate or something like that, I would put that in a separate space just to make sure that you're keeping with compliance. All right, quick tip here, you guys. The bulk of this info should live in an online class. You can have different types of content inside of your vaults, but an online class is going to be the most organized way to not only deliver this, but to provide a great place for people to show up and ask questions next to the relevant information. And from there, you can use categories to organize further. I'll show you what this looks like. So inside your vault, you can have pages, classes, and discussion rooms. So you can see that right here, I have two classes in this example vault. One of them is called Getting Started with Young Living, and the other one is called Oily Education. Okay, one of them is just about Young Living stuff. So, placing your order, learning about loyalty rewards, why you want to share, right? And then Oily Education is all about product. So this is what it looks like in terms of the contents of the vault. But then once you get into the vault and you get into that class, so this class is the Getting Started with Young Living, you can see that you can actually add categories to the lessons. So this is what it looks like on the back end when you're setting it up. You can add a category like Young Living Basics if you want to talk about the website, about subscribe to save, loyalty rewards, and then it'll show up like this on the right here. So it's organized. Right. So if you wanted to have oils A to Z as a category and then have an individual lesson about each of the oils, you could do that. If you wanted to have wellness categories and then put information about those and then put the products inside of those lessons, you could do it that way. All right. So let's talk about what kind of content you can use inside of your hub. Videos are a great thing to use and very easy to plug in. You may have some of your own. There, again, like I've mentioned, are tons on the Young Living YouTube channel, which is a great first place to look, as well as lots of other public videos that are out there. You could use images and infographics. Again, lots of good ones. Make sure that you've got permission to use the ones that you are using, unless they are really, kind of indicated for public use. Written information, stuff that's straight off of the Young Living website, for instance, links to material, and then also sway presentation. So if you're a Grow Workspace customer, like many of you are, you can embed your sways inside of lessons in your vault. And then PDFs and files. Again, this is a great one if you've got Grow Workspace. A lot of their bundles have class downloads. Those are things that can be added into the individual lessons so people can grab those and essentially just pick and have a class whenever they want to from inside of your resource hub. So let's talk about where you can find content for your hub first. And I want to point your attention to this and encourage you to do the bulk of everything that you are going to be putting together. Make sure most of it comes from Young Living directly. It's already done. It is correct. It is straight from the source and it is duplicable, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. The company has information. You're just compiling it in a way that's easy for your customers to access and reference when they need it, right? So use their website, use their blog. Their blog is loaded with great information, things that you can copy paste, you could link to, grab images, copy all that kind of stuff. Their YouTube channel is absolutely loaded with product information and all kinds of information about Young Living and being a customer. Their social media as well is a fantastic place to get links, to get images, all kinds of great stuff. Leader content is another great resource, provided you have permission to use it. If it is something that's publicly shared on YouTube and you are just, grabbing stuff from YouTube that you think, oh, this person explained the comp plan really well, there's certainly no harm in you using that if it's already public, right? Because this is a vault that you aren't charging people for, right? So don't charge people for other people's content, but this is a free thing where you're compiling just like you would on Facebook. You could also get your content from content providers. Young Living is so blessed. This community is so blessed to have a wealth of creative people who create amazing content that's beautiful, that educates for you to share, right? So Grow Workspace does this, Simple Grace Collective, YL Customer Delight, Modern Companion. You can look at our partners page to see the folks who work with us directly. And maybe you have a favorite who we don't know about yet. And if you do, let us know. Send us a message. We would love to connect with anyone who's creating great content in the Young Living space so that we can help more people know about them and help you use that content easily inside of your GetOiling system. All right, so let's talk about how we can get started. First, you want to create your own hub, which you can do in a complete step-by-step walkthrough. This course, How to Move Your Groups Off of Facebook, shows you an exact example of what I've used to build my own client vaults, what everyone in this course who's been through it already has used as an example for them to follow to create their own resource hubs. We've had hundreds of people go through this, and it's such just a complete resource for you to be able to use. And it's absolutely step-by-step. And once you have this set up, I know we've been talking about our apps lately, our app lately in some of our videos. Once you have this and people are in it, you now have a reason to tell them to download an app, and you can actually have your hub on the home screen of their phone. Right? And they could click it and open it. They can get app notifications from you. All kinds of amazing stuff is now possible once you've got your people inside of your hub. All right, so this is a 4-module course. So what we do here is design a group that works beautifully to fulfill this purpose. In your case, we're talking about creating a hub for your members, but you could also use this free course to create a similar hub for your brand partners or for leads if you want to put your lead group onto your own website. We'll also show you how to organize and create a plan to be able to pull all of the stuff off of your existing group that you want to move over, or create a plan for you to make the stuff or compile, go find it from Young Living's website and their social channels so that you have a plan, so that this isn't overwhelming. You're clear on what needs to go where and how to pull it all together. We've got tools and planners and spreadsheets and workbooks and all of this great stuff that you can use for this purpose. So you'll be able to build this group as a vault in GetOiling with a simple and strategic approach with intentional automations and structure completed inside it. So I actually show you how to do all this stuff. If it makes no sense, don't worry. I break it down into very small steps inside of this course. And then you can launch your group in stages. So if you wanted to bring in your brand partners first and let them learn how to use this group that you've created, then they can start using this group to share and to bring new people in, get them started. Guys, we've been talking as well recently, especially for those of you in the US and Canada market right now, who now have the ability to get people set up with free accounts. So what if you were going out there having these conversations and saying, hey, if you've got 5 minutes, I can just go ahead and set you up with a free account so you get my discount, and I'll be able to add you to my resource hub where you will get all kinds of amazing information on how you can green your life and live above the wellness line and all this good stuff, right? Then you can promote your group on an ongoing basis. I teach you how to do this. I show you different ways you can do it so you can continually grow it and function as you intend for it to off of Facebook, saving you time while you're growing your business. All right. So you can find this, you guys, at getoiling.com/move your groups. Carrie, taking this off of Facebook does mean getting us into one of these vaults. So it means not just serving your folks with something on Facebook, but moving them over and moving the primary resources over to a vault on your GetOiling site, so that, sure, you could keep your Facebook group if you want to for social interaction and just as another means to get the word out, but you want the actual organized hub of information to be on your website so that you can control it. And so it can be a resource that truly grows in value over time as you pour effort into it. Now, if you want a cheat code, one of our content partners, Simple Grace Co., that's simplegraceco.com. It's 2 Young Living Gold team leaders, cross team leaders who decided that they wanted to create resources and share them with folks who use GetOiling. For those of you who know Simple Grace Co., their stuff is amazing. This does involve personalizing it, but if you want something that's kind of pre-made that you can use to build off of, they've got a really great option. I think it's $67. It's really a big time saver and worth checking out. They are one of our content providers. You could build, as I've shared with you in the free course, making it exactly as I make mine for clients and following my steps. But this is a cheat code for you. And then if you are like, nope, I'm too busy, I need this done for me, we do offer custom strategy and branded builds with coaching. So get in touch with our team if that's something that you're interested in. It is a little bit more of a comprehensive thing. It's working with me one-on-one, and we actually design something to spec for what you need. We build it out together and we work with you to launch it. So if that's something you're into, definitely reach out and we could set up a call. All right, so I would like to show some of this to you guys, obviously get into some Q&A and get into our website review. But if you guys have questions, feel free, please do go ahead and put those in the Q&A so we don't miss anything. I know that I've seen a lot of questions come in the chat, and I don't know that I'll be able to get to all of them if you don't have them in the Q&A. So Donna asks, I already have a class in a vault. Can I pay for a space for another vault? Yeah, if you have a GetOiling account and maybe you are at basic and you've used your one vault or your one class and you want to add something, just reach out to our team. We can actually create a little extra thing for you, just a minor additional charge per month for that expansion. You don't have to go up in a plan. If you're a premium and you've maxed out all your fives, then you could do this as well. It's really simple. All right, Carrie says, I have the 28 to elevate from Grow Workspace. How am I using this to stay connected with people who are members of the vault, discussion groups instead of posting on Facebook? Yeah, you would use discussion. You could have discussion on your individual lessons if you want to. You could have a discussion room or several discussion rooms inside of your vault. And then you also have the ability, when you go and you look at your vault, to message the members directly from inside of your GetOiling account. So everyone who's signed up for it, you can actually click and it filters your entire database for the people who are members of that vault. And you can send them an app notification. You can send them an email. You could send them a text if they are signed up with a phone number. Jean asks, what would you suggest for each vault? How many vaults does one person need? Just getting started, I would very highly recommend that you at least just have this member hub vault. This is the most important thing you can have. From there, if you are a service-based business, if you're a coach, if you want to have some kind of a value add in the way that you serve your clients, you could have a vault for something like that, like a coaching program, an education hub. If you're a massage therapist and you want to have like some additional resources. Actually, Carrie, you're a great example of this. Carrie does yoga classes, but she wants to get them into more wellness education so that Young Living is something that they are partaking of. And so for Carrie's yoga clients, she could have a vault that, like she mentioned, she's using the Grow Workspace 28 to elevate. So it's almost like a little coaching program that she can offer her yoga clients who could then get exposed to and start using Young Living and working in a healthier direction. So there's a lot of ways you can do it. There's no wrong answer here, but the most important place to start for a Young Living brand partner is to have an education hub. So you can move your groups off of Facebook and have a more reliable way of communicate. Okay, yeah, we can explain a little bit more on what a vault is, although we do have that broken down completely and step-by-step in a video that you can, slow down, pause, watch, repeat inside of the Move Your Groups course. And let me see, Rhonda, in terms of pricing, that's really going to depend, because it might be that it makes more sense to work with our team if you've got clarity on what you want. And so that could be quoted. They could also mean, if you're really interested in the full scope of what it looks like to work with me, that's really just a matter of us getting together and chatting. So it's going to vary based on what you're looking for is really the answer to that question. So definitely reach out to our team and we can help get you in the right direction. That's support@getoiling.com. All right, Ilka, let's go take a look so that you can see what this looks like on the inside. And I'm actually just going to show you the GetOiling member area so you can see what a vault looks like. And then I'll take you over and show you what it looks like when you go, when you actually have a hub like this built for your people. So actually, no, I'm going to show you this from Jane's account. I'm just going to show you what the hub looks like. If you give me just a second. All right, Marinez, off-topic question. I created a Young Living shop page to include in my website and would like to add a link to the Young Living category section like Savvy Minerals. Question is, would my member number be included if I get the link from my website? I don't know that you may know the answer, but just in case. So anywhere you see the leaf link on your website, you can make sure that you have a link that is coded to you. So if you're going to a Young Living page that talks about Savvy, or I mean, you could use one of our, like use a leg builder link to use one of our built-in themes that talks about makeup, because we do have a makeup theme, and you could just use that. And if your member number is already in the system, all of the links on that page are going to be coded to you. Okay, so let's go take a look at Jane's vaults so you can actually see what a hub like this looks like. All right, I'm going to show you on the back end what your member area management looks like. So you can see Jane has these vaults. She's got 4 of them. She's got, this is one for leads. She's got one for her builders. She's got one for a coaching program. But this one, Abundant Wellness here, this is her hub for her customers. Okay. And Jane is not a real person, just so you know, you guys. It's been a while since we've shown her account. Okay, so this is what the management set looks like here, where we have our vault content. She's got a page that tells them where to start. She's got several classes. So let me show you what an online class looks like on the back end. So you can see she's got a category, navigating your virtual office. This one hasn't been updated for what it's worth, the specific one, to reflect the new verbiage for Young Living. We've got navigating your virtual office, your go-to resources, sharing Young Living. And so you can actually see where in some cases, if we open it up, and this is again, just to manage it, you can see, well, this one doesn't have anything in it, but we could have a sway in here, right? That talks about subscribe to save that Grow Workspace provided, for instance, or a video about it that you found on YouTube. You could also have, you know, how to find your member number. In this one, we've got a mix of text and screenshots. So here's how you actually find your member number, that kind of thing. Let's go look at what it looks like inside of your system. If we go right over here to view vault, you can see it. All right, so when you get into her hub here, she's got a page where she's basically saying, you know, welcome, I'm excited that you're here. You could have information on a page like this that tells them to download the app and put it on their phone. You could encourage them to get onto your mailing list here. And of course, you can show them the things that you have on offer for them inside of this, this hub. Getting started, you can have lots of great information here. I've categorized this into navigating the website, basically, what our go-to resources are in addition to Young Living stuff. So any books that you recommend, any groups that you recommend, profiles to follow, Young Living's blog, stuff like that. And then information on sharing Young Living. Right. And then from there, we can also have a separate class. And this is my personal recommendation, but you don't have to do it this way. You could have it all inside of one class. Oily Education is where, in this case, I've taken all of the Grow Workspace education bundles and put them into lessons in this online class. And they're all under categories that I've created. So Oily Family, Beauty, Seasonal, Young Living must-haves like supplements, Ningxia Red, Thieves, right? So when you go to any of these, and you can see examples here, I'll go to Hormones for Her. This is a Grow Workspace bundle that I've put in here. I've got a little bit of copy. I'm telling them to scroll through the class. The sway is embedded right here on the page. I'm asking them to leave a comment. They could also leave testimonials or ask questions about the products that are included here, or questions about my experience with this kind of issue. And then of course, because Grow Workspace makes these great downloads, we've got this one here as well. So they actually have this stuff that's pre-made for you that you can upload. And I do show you inside of that course how to set up a vault that is exactly like this one that I'm showing you here right now. All right, so vaults, again, just to kind of reiterate, they are things that live in your member area. So your member area on your website can only have vaults in it. Vaults can only have pages, discussion rooms, and classes. And we get into great detail in this in the course that I've shared with you guys today. Okay. Awesome. Any other questions about this or about how you would set it up? I did see, I saw someone commenting as I was going through the slides here that you've been working on it, but you feel kind of like stuck. Raise your hand for me, because I do want to make sure that we can help you move through this. Is that you, Jean? All right. Let's talk for a second, Jean. I want to help make sure that you are clear on what to do next. And then I do want to also, of course, have space to bring Lori out to do her review. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Hi, tell me about your hub and where you're at with it.
Well, I've had GetOiling for a very long time, and I've just been absolutely overwhelmed. I'm a little bit older, and so I'm not as tech savvy as a lot of people are. And so I'm just paralyzed by where to start. And so I'm doing Christy's course on just setting up my webpage now. And I'm determined that I'm going to overcome this, because I remember in the past I went from writing checks to ePay, and that was stressful. But I got through it, and now I can't imagine going back. So I know that if I do this, I'll be fine. But it's just very stressful to know where to start. And understanding for you, it's like you go to the back thing and you fix it and it shows up here. And it's just also very overwhelming.
Okay. So I would recommend starting just with an outline. Like just use a word processor and make an outline and just get the basics. Like here is the basics of what I want to include. And then follow the steps that are inside of that course just to get those things in. I mean, the fact is that you can succeed at this by simply creating, I mean, you could create a page if you needed to first that just had, or an email that has, here's this, right? Here's where you log in. Here's where you make sure you're signed up for my newsletter or something like that. And then, here's a video that you can get started with. That shows you what's coming. I think it's easy to get overwhelmed when you look at where other people are, for instance, right? And I think this is similar to like this compare-itis that we get on social media, right? Like the social media is everyone's highlight reel of their life. And we compare what we really are in our day-to-day to their curated thing. And so what I want to encourage you to do just as a way to kind of kick that feeling back, that overwhelm, is just to remember that what you have right now is exactly what you need. And you've got a team here that's here to support you. If you're trying to implement steps and you feel stuck, like, please reach out to us, let us know. And if you want to set up a time, where we can kind of bust through all of the stuff where you feel stuck, we can do that. So, just know that you're not alone in this, and that it can be simple. And sometimes it just means that, we need to sit down and walk with you through something, and that's okay.
I guess the big part of it is I know that there's a good way to do it. And it doesn't have to be anyone else's way. It has to be my own way. But my husband always says to me, begin with the end in mind. And so I feel like I want to know what the end is and then work toward that. And I guess part of me is also afraid that if I do something, it's going to not fit in with what I really want. And then I'm going to have to change it. I don't know. It's just,
yeah. Absolutely. Look, where this hub is concerned, this is an evolving thing. So this isn't an end in mind thing. Start with the absolute basics and know that as you learn something new, you've got a place to put that. Now you have a place to store the stuff that you're picking up as you go, so that the people that you're introducing this to have an ever-growing library of resources that you've made easy for them to connect to. You found an article that you love, pop it in there. Right? Instead of just posting it in a group, which is an easy thing to do, you're putting it in a place where it could be found in the future. So just get the absolute basics inside and know that everything on top of that is a bonus, just a total bonus. And it's never going to be a complete thing, because you're always going to be adding a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because you learned something new, right? You're always learning something new about oils and oiling your life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a work in progress, as your business is, as we all are. And there's no wrong way to do this, other than, not, right.
Right. Yeah.
And please do take us up on that offer. Reach out. Like, we'd be happy to sit down and help you make sure you're squared away and you're confident in, at least just getting the baseline stuff done.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out, Jean. All right, I would like to welcome Lori. Are you here still? I found you. Hello. Um, okay, it says I need to make you a panelist, so it might bump you off. I think it's because of the type of Zoom you're using. So I am adding you here, Lori. Here we go. Okay, hello. You are muted.
Can you see me?
Yes, and hear you. Perfect. How's it going? It's good to have you here. Let's talk.
Thank you. I needed to get started with the oily tools, or the whatever you call it. GetOiling website. I'm going to start there.
Okay. Okay, excellent. So I was trying to find, let me see. I was trying to find what you would have input when you signed up for the call here today. Is there anything in particular that you are feeling like you need help with in terms of getting started?
I think just learning how to get started for the GetOiling. I did the masterclass for the Grow Workspace last night.
Okay.
And I do see the vision for that, and how I didn't realize that we're really taking information from there and putting it into our website.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of the beauty of it. Yeah, the beauty of these content providers like Grow Workspace and the ones that we have listed on our partners page is that when it comes to actually creating the stuff that talks about Young Living and makes it pretty, you can have it done for you. And then all you're really doing is curating, compiling, and just plugging things in where we show you to plug them in the course. In terms of where to get started, if you're just getting started with us, is creating the hub the most important step for you?
I think so. I'm moving out of my old one, and I need to get my people in as fast as I can.
Okay, great. And are you in their Digital Duplication Academy, or are you just wanting to do this like on your own with GetOiling, like following our course, for instance?
For Grow Workspace, you mean?
Right. So, well, Grow Workspace has a program that's the masterclass you would have been on is offering a program that they, I don't know if the doors are still open for that right now. Is that something that you are a part of?
Not yet. I felt like
Okay.
I should start with the GetOiling, get my people in, get that taken care of, and then move forward.
Got you. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. So you can absolutely start with the class that, or the online course that we've just shared with you today. That's getoiling.com/move your groups. That's completely free. And I walk through all of the steps that you would need to follow to get the vault set up and to, just to put things in the places like we've talked about today. So I would recommend doing that because when you're set up with us, when you get started with us, you already have a website. So it's there, it's ready to share, it's compliant, it's curiosity generating, and you don't need to really do anything more to personalize it until you're ready to move in that direction. So yeah, I would just create that, make sure you're set up, you've got your member number in and everything, so you can be using us in that way. But yeah, follow the How to Move Your Groups course, and it's really broken down into small steps, so it should be pretty simple to
so I can
execute.
do that myself without any assistance. I can just move myself in.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. If you sign up on that page, you'll get access to it. And if you, if you have any issues accessing it, then just let us know. We can make sure you're in there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Moving you back to attendees. Perfect. Great questions today, you guys. I'm really excited to see what you create with this. If you have more questions, or actually we have a few more minutes. If you want eyes on what you're doing, or if you have any questions that you maybe like to have, verbal response to, talking back and forth one-on-one, please raise your hand. And we can fit that in before we go. I want to make sure that everybody's served here and feels good about next steps. Jean says, can you set up your education vault before your website looks good? What is the first step? Yeah, absolutely. Your website looks good when you get started with us, because we already have all of these beautiful built-in themes that are compliant to your market. So you don't need to build your website. You could use GetOiling and never build a custom homepage. And that's perfectly okay. At all plan levels, it's perfectly okay. GetOiling was built to have a hub for you to manage your business that has pages that you don't have to create, or hire a developer to do, that help you to share Young Living, that aren't banners for Young Living. They're actually curiosity generating. You've got a beautiful wellness focused website. It's already ready out of the gate. So the first step to getting started with building your resource hub is creating that member area, is creating the vault in your member area, like we've talked about today. And you can find all of the steps absolutely for free. You don't even have to be a GetOiling member to get in and start poking around and looking at this. It's getoiling.com/move your groups. And you can actually start following the steps there, get your planning in order, and move forward from there. All right, let me see. It's a question here. I'm currently going through the steps to learn it. GetOiling, I've already transferred my people from Marketing Sense. So you're saying I need to set up my hub next. So Mary, yeah, I think that's a great idea. If you've already got your people in the system, certainly make sure that you learn how to send them messages so that you are in contact with them. But yeah, the next thing that I would recommend if you have customers that you are serving is to build a hub like this for sure, or at least get the planning process started so that you can be getting the basics in place and then adding on the little extras as you go. And remember, there are different options here. If you wanted to use a pre-built vault and make it your own, Simple Grace Collective has one of those. If you want to completely DIY it and follow the steps that I follow and watch all of my videos to do this, that's totally free. Linda, confused about the leg builder links. We actually have, if you go into our website, or you go into your dashboard rather, and you can search for leg builder links right here. Oop. There we go. We go to leg builder links right here, and you can actually read all about it. You can go over to our, you can go to leg builder links right over here under website. Okay. And then of course you use any of our built-in themes to build leg builder links. I would definitely recommend that you watch some of the existing training on that, just to keep things timely here. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so you are working with Grow Workspace for the Digital Duplication Academy. They're going to be walking you through, like they have a whole plan and spectrum and all of the, like, you know, pre-made stuff. Like if you're working with Grow Workspace on that program, they're going to give you the step-by-step. And so step-by-step is what makes this not overwhelming, is doing one thing at a time. So if you are working with Grow Workspace, for instance, in their Digital Duplication Academy, then just please follow the steps that they have. They will show you how to integrate GetOiling and to bring all of this together, because that's why they created the Digital Duplication Academy, is to take the content that they have and to show you how to plug it into a website with GetOiling. So, so definitely follow what they have there. Let me see. Oh, Linda, there was a training that we did on our YouTube channel. It's called Mama 4 signed up 75 customers in less than 3 months. We did it fairly recently from where we're filming here today. At the end of the training, Janelle shared how to get someone started with a free account. Literally all it means is that you're sending them to your Young Living link, just like to the Young Living homepage, but with your link attached, or you send them there with your member number and they click sign in. They don't have an account, but on the same page where you normally sign in, scroll down, it says create an account and they can create an account just like that on that page for free. And they'll be your customer if they put in your member number. And Greg just put a link to that training here in the chat. Awesome. The template that I use, so we have lots of templates, but where we're talking about the member area and the vaults, I actually walk you through all of this, every step inside of getoiling.com/move your groups. And that's all there for you to follow. Awesome. You guys, so many good questions today. I'm excited to see you all build these resource hubs for your people. You can brand these to you, really make it your own. You know, what I've been seeing since we've started doing this is just, you know, each vault is a little bit different from the next. It's got your own flair, your own touch. What I would recommend though, and I do talk about this in the course, is that when you create a resource hub, don't make it you, make it Young Living. Right? Duplicability is something that comes from things being standard and easy to point and follow. So if you put your own, you know, horse or dog or baby oily spin on everything in there, you're going to limit its usability and limit your ability to duplicate. So this is why using Young Living as a primary resource for content, Young Living itself, their content as your main resource, is the most easy, cheap, and duplicable thing you can do, because it's all already done. They're the expert anyway. We're trying to edify them, so why not use what they've already said, right? So keep it simple, keep it all Young Living, and you can access these links. So I will be putting a link in our replay to the course that we're sharing with you today, the free course at GetOiling.com/move your groups. So that will be there. If you do need, Britt, if you need links to anything else that we've talked about, let us know before we go and we'll make sure that you can get that. Joel says, if you also have a coaching business, would you recommend 2 separate vaults? 100% yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you have a coaching business, that vault is separate. If you have several things you offer as a coach, those are separate vaults. Basically anything that, so in the case of Young Living, you're not going to charge for this vault. This is a value add for your customers. It's a resource for your customers. But for a coach, you know, people need to pay you, right? So maybe they pay you monthly and they get access to that vault. Maybe they pay for a program and that program has its own vault. That's how that kind of thing would work. All right, excellent, you guys. Great questions. Thank you for being here. GetOiling.com/move your groups. Let us know if you have questions. We are always here to help. Support at GetOiling.com. Jean says, is a vault limited in the amount of data you can put in it? No, you're storing content in there, but like the big heavy stuff like video, you're going to be getting from your Vimeo or Wistia or from a YouTube channel. So it's really, no, you put your stuff in there, build it up. How can I copy and paste or get the chat with all the links and info? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. How do we do that?
Zoom lets you do that or not? I mean, I can highlight and copy, but that may just be me. I don't know. I haven't tried that with the webinar.
Yeah. Tell you what, Ilka, if there's a specific thing that you are wanting to get information on, definitely feel free, reach out to us or let us know here. And we can make sure that you're reminded of that. I will say this. The most important link you need to know today is getoiling.com/move your groups so that you can get started with planning and building your hub. If you want to use a brand partner resource for this, you could also certainly go to Simple Grace Collective, and they've got some great things to start with there as well, specifically talking about vaults. I'm not aware of other content partners that are doing that yet, and we'll be the first to let you know when that is being done. Okay, can you set up chat? So we have 3 dots, copy a chat. I'm not sure if that's a thing we can do. Can you add pages to a course? Absolutely, that's content. So your vault content can be pages, it can be classes, and it can be discussion rooms. So Cassandra, you can have multiple pages. You could have multiple classes, like I showed you inside of the vault, the hub example today. So yeah, all you have to do is click add content. I do show how to do that in the course. And then you put whatever it is that you want on it. If you want a buying guide, you want to put your bundles, your MyYL links, or whatever it is that you want to do, you can pop that in there. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for spending this time with us. We look forward to being back here again with you next week. And I hope you take advantage of this free resource to help you build a hub online. We'll see you next week.